Greetings, fellow watchers and racers. This is Gamer Podium 13 with another live stream. I'm doing my laundry and I'm taking my time to get ready to go to sleep. So I decided that we're going to have a little bit of story time with Gamer Podium 13. Some of you may have been to my YouTube channel and you have wondered, what is it that this is about? So we're going to focus on a couple of things, primarily this. Now, I'm going to point to the music and I'm going to hit play. I'm going to try to keep the copyright strike down and out. So I'm gonna try to turn the music down extremely low because, like I said, I have a home theater, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it on zero, but I'm gonna let the music play. All right. So now that we have we're negative. I mean, you just saw that, didn't you? So that's why I said myself go to the home theater. So all right. So do 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 do. Boom. All right, hold on. So okay, they just switched over now. Okay, that's okay. All right, so you may be wondering what you may be wondering what this is. It's called Dollhouse Destiny. Dollhouse Destiny. It's by a person that I want to work with, and apparently she lives here in Georgia. At least that's what I heard. I'm not sure, but we're going to listen to this here. If you go to my channel, about 11 months back, I did a survey, and that's what we're going to do right now because I'm winding down and I'm going to tell a story. And there's only one stream playing right now. It's just the vertical stream. If you can see this, if you can read this, fine. If you can't, okay, we'll try to blow it up a little bit bigger, and we'll focus. Hold on. We're trying to focus. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold it. Yeah, I'm holding it in my hand, and then I'm going to read it because is this Jack Nicholson? No, this is not Jack Nicholson. This is Gamer Podium 13. That's who this is. Not Jack Nicholson. This is Gamer Podium 13. I don't think I sound like Jack Nicholson. I don't think I sound like Jack Nicholson. I sound like Wick Dantes. I sound like KG Dantes, the author of this. And Wick Dantes is my twin brother. He's a racing car driver, but he wants to do NASCAR. KG Dantes, there's triplets. There's me, Gamer Podium 13, and then there's Wick Dantes, who's I'm sleep deprived, and as a result of the sleep deprivation, I'm suffering from the cerebral, paramordial, confrontational, light series brilliance, and it's rattling inside of my brain. And here we go. Let's read. Gamer Podium 13, 11 months ago. This was a survey on my channel. You go to the posts and you look for the section that says, hello, I am Gamer Podium's posts sections where there's writing, and you have to scroll down about a few times to find this, and you will find book, movie, or both? It's a question. Read, then, and vote below. Thanks. So, this is a trilogy called The Final Prophecy, or Return of the Firstborns, of many titles, and is copyrighted pop plats like tulak alamot at pot keldo lanik molak niplenalo kelash manayatolaito. It's the poor man's copyright. So Pandora's Amulet is book one. Act 1 is pronounced Li Muspre Neglishen et Tinla. That's Act 1. Okay, Chapter 1, The Anniversary. 17-year-old Evelyn Pandora Grace Kane relives her father's death at the hands of her mother in an annual nightmare. What in the world is going on here? Well, that's just a sentence. Chapter 2, because it's a young adult novel that's also planning to be an adult novel / young adult novel, and as a result of this extremely fond, not yet chapter 2, it's called Money. After receiving an acceptance letter in the mail to attend Emory University for medical school, Pandora faces the difficult challenge of coming up with the money. Chapter 3, Sky Mountain. At her new job, Pandora and best friend Natasha meet Jackson Gaylord, the local owner of a strip club, who makes her an offer and presents a tempting way to solve her money problem. Chapter 4. After deciding to celebrate her 18th birthday at Jackson's strip club, the place is attacked by demons and an energy force is transferred into Pandora's body by a mysterious old woman wearing a strange amulet. Chapter 5, Family Matters. Having been rescued from the club by young demon hunters, Pandora is taken to a church and learns that the mysterious woman with the amulet is her grandmother, Evelyn Margaret Kane. Chapter 6, In Terror's Gate. Gran Kane and her captured demon hunters. Gran Kane and her captured female demon hunters are taken to a dungeon with our interrogator in an attempt to learn the secrets of the amulet. Chapter 7, Power. Dangerous. When it's confirmed it was demons she saw at the club, Pandora enters a state of denial and tries to go back to her life, only to be attacked by assailants, which triggers the release of a strong energy burst that unfortunately injures her young niece and nephew. 8. Chosen. Traumatized by the two injuries. The two demon hunters convinced Pandora that she was chosen to receive the energy for a reason, and agrees to return to them and to try to discover the mysterious mystery behind its purpose. Act 2 is pronounced La Doscanesi Neglishin et Tinla. Chapter 9, Real World Gods. Back at the church, Pandora meets the adorable young historian Cassandra Hale and is taught about biblical history, a phenomenon called the blinding, and the spiritual war of the gods that plagues humanity. Chapter 10, The Crossborn Knights. As a result of this, I want to play some music. And that music is going to be dedicated to the Crossborn Knights, but you won't be able to hear it. So sit back, hold on, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. All right. Do you see this group, Gospel Gangsters? They are the original Gospel Gangsters. This is their first album, the original Gospel Gangsters. But I want to select this one. The music will play in the background for the Crossborn Knights, Chapter 10. And the song that is going to be dedicated will be Demon Killer. Demon Killer. Demon Killer. After this brief intermission, you will see the lyrics play. But it's almost impossible unless I do this. Boop, 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 boop. We're going to rewind. And then we're going to play again. All right. We're going to read along with the lyrics of this song that is dedicated to Chapter 10, The Crossborn Blood Knights. But as I said, I'm also doing my laundry. So I'm going to have to have a brief intermission and try to remember inside my head what's going on. All right, preaching. You can read that. As you can see, the music is playing, but you can't hear it. I'm trying to avoid copyright strikes, but this one might have a copyright strike on it, so it won't last long. It might even get taken out. I'm not playing anything. You can't hear it, So let's just read. Preaching, Matthew 16:19, and it says, I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whosoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, whosoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. In other words, God was telling us that we had to bind Satan, but Satan does not bind himself. And then at times we only say, Satan, I bind you, but we must now say, Satan, I bind you, I bind your angelic race, and I bind your demon spirits. And where do we bind them up at? We bind them up from where there's a gate. We bind them in the heavenly, the earthly, and the underworlds. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. So we pause it, because with my magic fingers, I have now just paused the music. It is no longer playing. It is paused. And we are going to readjust. We're going to readjust. Readjust. We just have we to play it, play it. Come on, come on, come on. Play with me. 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 All right. Let's just go read. All right. As you can see, it is paused. It's not moving anymore. So it's not playing. I'm hoping this will help us to avoid copyright strike. So let's continue with the ASMR. All right. Chapter 10. Pandora is formally introduced to the demon hunters who rescued her, where she learns the basics. Hold on, let's see. Okay, there we go. Chapter 10. Pandora is formally introduced to the demon hunters who rescued her. Pandora is formally introduced to the demon hunters who rescued her, where she learns the basics about their mission and its co-founder, Abraham Cain. I'll be back. Take a trip with me while I go to the. I'm going into my laundry room. Oh, that's too bright. Light poisoning. I'm suffering from light poisoning. So, if you're monitoring the stream, oh God, I'm suffering from light poisoning. So, I'm trying to manage it the best that I can. If this video receives a copyright strike, I won't worry about it. He says, Indian Stephen Hawking. Okay, oh God, why say, are you Indian? You sound Indian. Oh God, why say, Indian Stephen Hawking? Mudo says, who are you? Formula Expert says, hi. All right, so, okay, all right. I still can't see. All right, let's turn on a little, all right, there we go. That's a softer light there. I got to turn this one off because I'm suffering from light poisoning. Light poisoning is a theory I have that too much brain activity, too much high frequency light can cause epileptic seizures. And as a result, you can end up having what happened to me. And that would be, so what you're looking at now is my floor of my kitchen. Why put my clothes in the dryer and keep talking about Pandora's amulet in this ASMR live stream. Why are you doing another live stream, RgPaBkOrb 13? Aren't you sleeping yet? Not yet. Not yet. It's 1800 hours. It's 13 hours here on the East Coast of King, Georgia, USA. And at the moment, I'm doing the laundry whilst we do AMSR, and you can hear me. All right. Next, we have Chapter 11. Chapter 11. So, as a result, let's go real quick. We'll do this. All right. Chapter 11. It's locked. Chapter 11. Okay, all right. Chapter 11. Margaret Cain and the CUP. Pandora learns more about her extraordinary grandmother and the mission she was on, which led to the amulet energy transfer. Chapter 12, Demon Sending. A strange occurrence introduces Pandora to a dangerous form of communication which could possibly be used to locate Grand Cain. 13. Chapter 13, Jordan's Dip. Needing the basic survival and fighting skills of a demon hunter to help find her grandmother, Pandora decides to go through the 3-day waterborne conversion ritual to become a kingdom citizen and crossborn blood knight. Chapter 14, Battlecraft, Words and Swords. Pandora's training begins where she is taught the demon hunter's battlecraft. But a new romance with one of her but a new romance with one of the male blood knights. But a new romance with one of the male blood knights creates a potential problem with her new best friend, Cassandra Hale. Cassandra Hale. Oh no, what's gonna happen? Cassandra and Pandora are going to get into a possible quarrel. What kind of quarrel with Pandora and Cassandra? Oh my God. I'm afraid. I'm scared. I'm really scared to find out what's going to happen. I'm really scared. Well, let's not get too scared, because as a result, we go to the next chapter. And we might want to find some new music, but we're going to hold on because I'm hoping to have the Gospel Gangsters and T-Bone be at least two people who are on the soundtrack that will be willing to work with me so they can be on the soundtrack and have their music in the background. When I start shooting the movie with all of my equipment, I'm going to hold auditions for the book and the movie that I'm going to shoot with my phone, while at the same time I'm writing it as a novel. I'm going to go back to live streaming, and I'm going to put everything under the primary business name of GP13 Incorporated, which I've already got the poor man's copyright. So, all right, Death Right, Chapter 15. Demonic torture sessions lead some of the captured female blood knights to invoke a rarely used sacrificial rite, which forces Grand Cane to decide whether or not to perform mercy kills to end their suffering. Chapter 16. One of Pandora's training sessions is interrupted when a witch demon is summoned to establish a psychic connection with her and Grand Cane. Chapter 17. After the disturbing connection with the witch, psychic is broken. Pandora is sent to a convent led by the secret wife of Pastor Gabbas to meet the mysterious mother Spirita, where she learns that her mother, Carmen, is a key factor in the amulet energy mystery. Death Valley, Chapter 18. Pandora enters a parallel dimension where Carmen is trapped in order to free her to learn. Pandora enters a parallel dimension where Carmen is trapped in order to free her, only to learn that her anger over her father's death has blossomed into a hatred that is preventing the rescue. 19. Chapter 19. What is Chapter 19? How does it begin? Well, we have to scroll up. I tell you! We have to scroll up. Wait, right there. Right there. So now that we've scrolled up, let's go back. Right. And the time is now 18:20. Okay. Chapter 18. Death Valley. We've already read that. Chapter 19. Deals with devils. This is problematic. Somebody once said never make a deal with the devil. Why? Grand Cain makes a desperate deal with the demons, which will allow them to find Pandora after she learns what took place in the Death Valley dimension. Whew. Chapter 20. The Law of Truth and Grace. Pandora grudgingly re-enters Death Valley in another attempt to free her mother when she learns that her grandmother has told the demons how to find her. 21. Lamb's duty. After finally succeeding in Death Valley, Mother Sparida convinces Mother Catherine to create another dangerous psychic connection in order to locate Grand Cain. All right, I'm going to go and do this really quick and keep talking. It's 18:22 hours. I'm back in the laundry room. All right. Pausing while I put these clothes in the laundry. In the dryer. It's a big load. So if you just joined us wondering why there's yet another live stream, it's because it's only 18:22 hours and I want to try to get in the bed by 2000 hours. So an hour and 38 minutes. I'm going to try to get in the bed because when the sun goes down on my side of town, that lonesome feeling comes through my door and the whole world turns cold. And there's a rundown bar across the railroad tracks. It's got a table for two way in the back where I sat alone and thinking blues and her. I spend most every night beneath the lights of a neon moon. And if you lose your one and only, there's always room here for the lonely. So watch your broken dreams dancing out of the beams of a neon moon. I think the two young lovers are running wild and free. I close my eyes and sometimes see you in the shadow of this smoke-filled room. And no telling how many tears I've sat here and cried, or how many lies that I've lied, telling my poor heart she'll come back someday. Oh, and I'll be alright as long as there's light when the neon moon. So if you lose your one and only, there's always room here for the lonely. So watch your broken dreams dancing out of the beams of a neon moon. Down, 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 down. I drink. And the words of every sad song seem to say what I think. And it's her inside of me. And never gonna again. Oh, but I'll be alright. As long as there's light from a neon moon. Oh, if you lose your one and only, there's always room here for the lonely. Watch your broken dreams dancing out of the paint of a neon moon. All right, so back to the AMSR. JB Sports said hi as I am watching you. JB Sports, hey Gamer Podium, how are you doing? Doing pretty good. Back to the AMSR. Where did we leave off? All right, so now we got to go back to Act 3. This is on my channel. You have to go look under posts. So now we are at Act 3. You know, Act 3. So let's keep this going. All right, here we go. This is Act 3 of the Final Prophecy Trilogy, authored by my triplet. I failed to tell you that I, Gamer Podium 13, there are 3 of us. I am Gamer Podium 13. My second brother is Wick Dantes. And my third brother is KT Dantes. I am telling you a story right now because this is how it works. You have to be careful how much information you give people because they can use it against you in nefarious ways. And I, Gamer Podium 13, you're right, not going to play anything, right? Just ASMR in this thing. JB Sports said hi, so yes, we are playing a game. The game we are playing is this truth or fiction? Is this real life or is this fictional life? Are you dreaming? Or is this reality? It's a question that has very limited answers, you know? And when you go to sleep, and it's extremely dark, and you're alone, the devil might decide to pay you a visit. And if he pays you a visit,
he may not be so fun and interesting. He's going to mess with your head. He's going to try his best to eliminate your dream consistency. He's going to make you think that something is wrong with you. And you're not dark.
Into the chat. Baku. Act 3 is pronounced Le Ustita Niglishin et Tinla. Chapter 22, what lies beneath? All right, what do you say? We do this and read. Here we go. The Crossbones learn that Grand Cane is being held in a dungeon beneath the very same strip club where the initial energy transfer took place and plan a dangerous mission to rescue her and the other female Blood Knights. Chapter 23, Awakening. The costly assault on the demon's territory triggers the awakening of the original owner of the amulet, which allows Pandora to safely use its powers to finally defeat the enemy. But she suffers a devastating loss. In the end, no, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? 24.
The last show.
The last soul host? The last soul host?
The last soul host. It's the end of book 1, but there's 3 books in the trilogy, so we have to read through the other 2. But there may not be time to do that. There may not be time to do that. Chapter 24. This is the very last.
This is the very last chapter of book 1. And we read, after fully transferring the rest of the soul energy back into the amulet and giving it to Pandora, Grand Cain is near death, but finally reveals its hidden purpose, the existence of a male soul host, and sends Pandora on an urgent mission to find him. End book 1. Excuse me, I'm already subscribed. Now let's do a collab. JB Esports, what kind of collab would you like to do? You're already subscribed. What kind of collab do you want to do? We have to go now to book 3. I'm sorry, book 2. And I've got to find it. Esports. Beku Esports. Okay. Electronic sports. Make it 3. Make what 3? 3 collaborations? Excuse me, I'm already subscribed. Now let's do a collab. He wants to do. I can't get Eddie Murphy out of my head. Richard Pryor, whom I was listening to when I was a little child, and he has this album called That Brigger's Crazy. You know, and substitute the BR with an N. It's called That Brigger's, substituted with an N, is Crazy. I suggest you listen to it. You know, the entire album. Richard Pryor is my favorite comedian. Yeah, Eddie Murphy is number 2. And the podium for my favorite comedians, the third one always switches. It could be Jim Carrey. It could be, rest in peace, Matthew Perry. But the first 2 are always Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy. Hey, Richard! I just called, Bill Cosby just called me and told me I was too dirty. And Richard is the rawest feathermucker on the planet, you know. Richard said, next time the feathermucker calls, just tell him I said, suck my tick. Do you make jokes? I said, yes. I said, do the people laugh when you say what you say? I said, yes. Then tell Bill to have a Coke and smile and shut the fuck up. You know, Jello, pudding, even feathermucker. So, me, Gary Podium 13, you know, imitating, or at least trying to imitate Richard and Eddie. You know, start thinking about Jim Carrey, you know, and the movie Bruce Almighty. I still don't understand what is happening. Hey, bro, where are you streaming from? Country. The United States of America. You are beneath. You're being manipulated. I told you I like to play games. Shall we play a game? Yeah, why not? Let's see. This girl here. Does anybody know who this person is? Ugh. Does anyone know this face? Does anyone know who she is? Do you know who she is? Do you know who she is? If you do, she is who I want to play Pandora. But she's 31 now, which is fine because the story is two versions. The young adult version, the mid-range adult version, and the upper adult version. So the young adult version would be a novel that's clean, very clean, you know. The adult novel would be, 21 and up. So could she play a 21-year-old? This girl, if you know who she is? This is who I want to play Pandora. She's 31, so she's an upper adult. She's upper. She's mature. She's 31, 32. I think she just turned 32. I think she's 32. It's 31 or 32. It might even be 34. She's somewhere between 30 and 34. I can't remember. But do you know who she is? Do you know this face? I want her to play Pandora. I want her to play Pandora. And I've been trying to get a collaboration with her because she says she lives. I heard her once say that she lives in Georgia. She thrives in Georgia, and I've been trying to contact her to let her know, hey, I want to work with you. But she's big and I'm small. So it's probably not going to work. All right, let us continue to read. Satan. Growl, there's been damage to my kingdom. What are we dealing with? Who are they? They're called the Crossborn Blood Knights. All right, on this particular computer, it's much more difficult for me to open up another file. So I'm going to have to go to the other room, the game room, which is over there. Can you see that? The game room is over there, but you can't see it, can you? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Nope. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? No. Let's turn on the lights. Doom, doom. Or light a candle. Do-boom-doo-doo-doo. Tonight I'm in a special mood, baby. Now Tristan Mays can carry a tune, but her voice is extremely heavy. The young lady you just saw, that's her name, Tristan Mays. I want her to play Pandora. She may not be able to play the 21-year-old version, but she could play the 30-year-old version. And the way I see it, she's the same person. She can cover, with makeup, she can cover all three, and special effects in the movie business. We could work together and, let me crank up. Let's go crank up see, this is the most powerful room right here. This is my most powerful room right here. This is the game room. As you can see, it's getting dark. It's getting dark and the sun is going down. So I'm closing the blinds. Closing the blinds, and we're going to log on the big computer because after the update, I don't have the WordPad file anymore. So let's watch this. I'm going to sell the PCs from the store, outside the store. I'm going to train a lot, and I'll remind you all that to be resilient at work, you just need to train a lot. That's all. So this is the PC firing up. This is the big boy. You know. Oh, the old computer, the one that was damaged, it's working fine now. That's it right there. Yeah, it's working fine. Yeah, it's working fine. It's working fine. Since I took, see, that's the 2080 RTX. Since I took the capture card out, which you can't see, the capture card is now in the new computer. It works fine now. Yeah, works fine. So, oh, when you enter my apartment, this is what it says. Holy Salvation Church services, 10 a.m. Bible class, 12 midday. Sunday picnic, 2 p.m. God bless this holy house. View askew. View askew. View askew. View askew. View askew. I want to work with view askew. Over here it says the Lord Jesus is coming, perhaps today. Are you ready? Now without further ado, I give to you my pastor, the Reverend John P. Key, and the New Life Community Choir. Create in me, yeah, create in me a clean heart, and renew a right spirit. Oh, yeah. In me, oh, wash me, Lord. I can't make it without you, Lord. Hallelujah. Oh, 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 yeah. Wash me. Create in me, yeah. Create in me a clean. Oh, yeah. And renew a right spirit. Hey, in me. Oh, wash me, Lord. Purge me, Jesus. Hallelujah. Oh, do it for me. Wash me. Lord, Lord, you are the potter and I am the clay. Mold me, make me in your perfect word. Hey. Whoa. I got that from the Cracker Barrel, which they tried to change the name. But thanks to a groundswell and thanks to all those people at the bottom, they're going to keep the old cracker sitting next to a barrel at Cracker Barrel. Because I'm in Georgia, King, Georgia. Do you know there's only 4 states in the United States that were named after kings? South Carolina, or royalty. South Carolina, North Carolina, Louisiana, after one of the King Louis, and King Georgia. And see, Georgia was one of the original 13 colonies. And I think Georgia is the 13th colony, if memory serves me. Let's log on the computer. Let's get this out. Come on, Logitech. Come on out of there, Logitech. Enter. Wait, hold on. All right. Now, as we look at the big boy game room, that's the big boy game room. So I got a choice. Oh, before my mom died in 2023, she left me this. This thing is worth an incredible amount of money. It's worth an incredible amount of money. This place has so much in it. And it is a 1-bedroom apartment. It's huge. But mom left me in 2023, you know. She left me in 2023, you know. My dad left in 1987. I'm mad at both of them. Still, I'm still mad at my dad because he left. It wasn't his fault. It was his fault. It was his. So I constantly have an argument with my God, with the Lord Jesus, you know. Lord, so that's what I say, you know, sitting in between these two types of voices. God on the one side, the devil on the other side. I get so confused as the one in the middle. It can be tiring sometimes, but I try to hold on. I'm now in my personal box on Microsoft. I'm gonna try to open the folder so we can continue with the blurbs for my story. As you can see, this is my content. I created it. Like Commander Sisko said in Star Trek. Anybody saw that episode of Star Trek? You know, Far Beyond the Stars. Does any of you watch Star Trek? Because Star Trek saved my life. Well, God through Star Trek, because he knew what I loved. It's like, this guy loves Star Trek. Because in 1988 or 89, I forget because my brain is jelly at the moment, but somewhere between 1988 and 1999, somewhere between 1988 and somewhere between 1988 and 2001, I was convinced. I was convinced that I was going to try to commit suicide. Yeah, I was done. And the way I was going to do it was I was just going to try to starve myself to death, you know. So, but I was going to do it the hard way. I was going to try to do it the hard way. And that hard way is, you're looking at my V3 pedals. The receiver is behind it. Pioneer. So, and this is not sponsored by it's not sponsored by any of the brands in here. Nope. This is not sponsored at all. So, where was I? Oh, but anyway, I forget where I was. So I won't worry about it. And we'll do this. Boom. Make sure all my content is on because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So that when I back up, back it up, we'll have this in the center. We'll make sure that we're looking at my content. All right, as you can see, I got all this information. I'll read through it. Because this is the novel. Let's see what happens when I double click. This is what happens when I double click. So, as you can see, that's all the information right there. This is my content. Pandora's Amulet, Book 1, last reviewed 12/1/2021. I've been working on this for over 20 years. Yeah, a long time. And you're going to see just how much information I have. Lights. We got to turn off all the lights that are problematic because I'm suffering from light poisoning, which means too much light. Too much light. I'm watching the clock, planning to go to bed at 1,800 hours. So an hour and 10 minutes. I mean, 2,000 hours. So, 1851. We'll keep that one up. We might just tone down the, tell you what. Blow it up, baby. Blow it up. There it is. The triplets. All right, so that's all that's on the channel for right now until I go add some more, which y'all might just see me do. So I'm going to log off the old PC. Shut down. And then we're going to do this. Xfinity. Xfinity, 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 Xfinity. They're my cable provider, so that's where I am going now. Xfinity, Xfinity. By Comcast. Like I said before, I'm telling you a story. There's triplets. I'm Gamer Podium. My second brother, his name is Wick Dantes, and my third brother is KG Dantes. KG is actually the one that came up with the novel idea. Wick Dantes is second in the order. It's transmitted through Wick Dantes to Gamer Podium, which is the business end of my copyrighted, poor man's copyright company. Oh, I realized what just happened. In here, we are wired. You know, this is my mouse pad for my wired keyboard because it came with the new powerful PC. So I'm wired. See the wires? Can you see the wires? You can't see the wires? It's a wire. And it goes all the way, this way, around there. There's a keyboard right there. Can you hear that? There's a keyboard. This is the mouse. There's another wire. Can you see? Oh, dear. Sorry. Can you see that? Can they see the wire? It's black. Watch. Oh, that's my Emotiva. Again, there's no sponsor. Emotiva makes power amplifiers. And this is a Pioneer receiver. And as you can see, the two wires, the twins, are going all the way. Turn on the lights so you can see it. See, the old PC is now turned off. That's SBS subwoofer, the SBS SB13 Ultra. There's the second one. There's the third one, still in its box. You can't see it, but it's behind this, which is my DVD collection. All over here is 4K HD and Blu-ray. There's a mixture. There's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. DVDs right there. DVDs over there. Behind my bookshelf, see, I got all my books. And pizza, this is not paid pizza. I used to work at Pizza Hut. That's why I have all these boxes. You know, when they tell you to throw away trash, it no longer matters to them anymore. So I used to work at Pizza Hut. I've been working at Pizza Hut for a long time. I've got books. You can tell I keep busy. I'm kind of like the Wachowski brothers. I read a lot. Books. The helmet, my 2 helmets are in there. Let me see. My HOTAS is in there. The HOTAS. You don't know what a HOTAS is? I'll show you what a HOTAS is. This is for playing Elite Dangerous and other video games, which one of these days, God willing, I'm going to play more games on the channel. I just, you know. And right here, this is my copyrighted material. You know, this is my copyrighted material here. Rough Track Designs. Under Gamer Podium 13, we have the business side. We have 8-track racing. And I did this once before, but I'll show you again. This track is called First Ariati Tyon. It's an 8-track. I did this when I was in one of my hospital visits for sleep deprivation. This is not necessarily an 8-track, but it's kind of like it's there. You know, that's a track design. That's another 8-track design. That's called Big Hidium. This is called Pigal Dahlia. It's another track design I'm working on. This is another track, 8-track. This is called Slayriate. This is called Slayrai. This is called Slayrai. This is called Sorry, this is called Slakesy. Slakesy 8. This is called Slakesy 8. It's an 8-track design. This is another weird 8-track design that I'm still working on. No name yet, so it's a work in progress. This is another a track designed. Oucha Gully. Oucha Gully. Oucha Gully. This is another track design. Let's see. Let's keep going here. This is called Efterlate. Efterlate. With this particular section being called, I can't read. Oh, that's the bridge. So the 8-track goes see Efterlate. This is Efterlate, and we still got to figure out a pit lane so that you can actually enter the track. And you go up here under the bridge, and you go into figure 8, and the track is wide enough for at least 3 NASCAR style vehicles. You can go 3 wide in here, 3 wide, but then you have to, you have to figure it out. Then you go under the bridge. Again, figure 8 racing. That's the Efterlate track. This is Bicker Atium. As you can see, it's a differently configured, figure 8 track. This is under the Gamer Podium business idea, the Bicker 8, And then we got Squirrel Viral. I was trying to figure out what to do. That's either over the bridge, under the bridge, under the bridge, under the bridge, over the bridge, over the bridge, over the bridge, under the bridge, under the bridge, under the bridge. So, Squirrel Viral. Squirty Viral. Squirrel Viral. This is called Will you see Slicktium. Will you see Slicktium? And it's another figure 8 track. So as you can see, we got the pit lane. You enter the track right here, and you come around figure 8. You go under the bridge. You come around, and you go over the bridge. Now I don't know what I've done with the elevations yet. We just need some land. But guess what? Earth, they're not making any land anymore. So we're gonna have to do this virtually. We're gonna have to get together. All right, and then we've got. All right, now we've gotten to the rest of them because it's expanding. We got tracks that are lettered after the alphabet. This is called Phrobium. This is called Phrobium Unaris. This is Phrobium Unaris. As you can see, Phrobium Unaris is in the shape of an F. This is the pit lane. You can either go this way or you can go this way. We'll have to figure out if we want to go clockwise or counterclockwise. For right now, we'll consider we need a virtual version. So that's also going to be a part of the GP13 Incorporated Gamer Podium 13 business plan. That's what we're going to do. So this is Phrobium unaris. This is Bodyneum because it's shaped like a bee. You know, you can see it better. It's shaped like a bee. This is Godium because this is Godium because it's shaped like a G. This is Golarium because it's another G shape, Golarium, right? Right? And then we have, hold on. We've got Hydropium first. Hydropium first because it's an H track. It's an H track. And you can see it's pretty big there. Then we've got Bitubium. Now this is where it gets interesting. We're going to call this one Bitubium Z second. I'm going to change that to Bitubium Z second. Why? Because it looks like both a Z and a 2. So Bitubium Z second. That's that track design. And then we have Oxynovium third. And you can see pit lane. It's basically like an oval, but a weird oval. And then we have Scatteradium. It's another figure 8 track. And we got to figure it out, you know. Boom, 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 boom. We got to figure out where the bridge is, you know. This track can be reconfigured. So for right now, we'll do it in the virtual world, just like they do in Gran Turismo, which I'm hoping to possibly collaborate with one day. And this is called Koyuntri Pi. Koyuntri Pi. Koyuntri Pi. This is Koyuntri Pi. As you can see, it looks like, it doesn't look like a pie because to me pies are round, you know. Koyuntri Pi. Koyuntri Pi. That's the name of this track. As you can see, it looks like the pi symbol in mathematics. This is a track that I designed when I was in one of my hospital visits for sleep deprivation. And you can see how the track goes. Straight, then down to a right-hander. Then you got to go this way. And then you got a hairpin, and then another hard right, a kind of circle, and then swings this way, and then this way. And how did I design this track? Because when I was quote unquote trapped in there, because they want the doctor, hey man, Summy, Jer Brown, how you doing? Sorry, books looks like a musical symbol. Oh, looks like a musical symbol. Ah, does it? Ah, see, perspectives. But anyway, I forget what this one's called. I think it's called the Peach Font Public. I can't read my own handwriting, and I got on my eyes, so I'll figure it out. But this is a work in progress. But anyway, so I was walking, you know. I even numbered them. What you see is numbers above the turns. So I numbered the turns, you know. Turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 turns. So this is a 10-turn track. A 10-turn track. And I would walk it. You know, just walk it. Walk it. Just keep walking until I was just tired. And as you can see, there's more track designs. But like I said, my triplet brother, who I'm telling you a story about, KG Dantes, he put his name on the back. And on here, we've got possible names for the company, Atmodium Inc. This is what I decided to go with, GP13 Incorporated. Over here you got 8-Track Racing, and over here you got more GP13 Incorporated, GP13, you know, Gamer Podium 13. You know, so that's what we call the poor man's copyright. You know, yeah, it was a time that was back there in the day for people who were poor and didn't have money to copyright. So long as you could prove that you had documentation of a particular idea, and we got to turn the big boy back on because he just went to sleep. Logitech keyboard. Another Logitech keyboard that's solar. That solar keyboard is for the PlayStation 5. So let's get back because we got to get to Act 2. And let me put this back up here on top of my books. There's more and more books. One of these days I'm going to show you all the books that I have. That's the other subwoofer. It's in that big old huge box. It's not hooked up because I live in an apartment complex, you know, and I had it cranking really, really loud earlier today. I mean, I took my receiver from negative infinity. See, I'm going to show you something about how my receiver works. You see that symbol right there? Can you read it? It's negative. 81, and that's negative, which means the volume is not even on. You know why it goes backwards? Because I have an extremely powerful system in here. I have enough power in here with all these 4 subwoofers, and I only got 2 of them hooked up. And they're on soft. You can't see it right now, but hold on, let me do this. Turn on the lights for another tour of the podium pad. Another tour of the podium pad. All right, so SBS SB13 Ultra, SBS SVS SB13 Ultra. You know, there's another one back there in the box. It's not hooked up. I told you before my mom died, we were in a house, a 2-level house. I had the basement apartment all to myself. Some of you have been around long enough that you can remember it. You know, some of you have been around the channel long enough to remember it. You know, then my mom was told by her ex, from what I understand, I don't know this for true because it's, you know, I don't know this for true, but we were under the impression that we were going to stay in that house. When we were doing the SR earlier, DVDs, some of you may remember that speaker right there. It's not hooked up, but that one is. That's my Wi-Fi system. That's the modem. That's the Wi-Fi system. You know, that's the other big tower. I'm thinking this tower and that tower. Eventually, I'm going to take that tower and possibly put them back in here. Then I'm going to take these and lower them down a little bit because I got them up so high because I want to. This is a Dolby Atmos room. I have the ability to put speakers on the ceilings. I drop these curtains. Watch this. I drop the curtains. And that's called the sunroom. It's my office. It leads out, and I'm on the 3rd floor. You know, so I'm up top. On one side, I'm 3 floors up. On the other side, I'm only 2 floors up because of the way this apartment complex is designed. Yeah, one of the things I also wanted to be was an architect. I've wanted to be many things, but anyway, so, and then you drop the other curtain. You just go up, lift, drop. And that way, when I decide that I want to have some people over and I'm working, you know, I can close the drapes, you know, close the curtains, you know, and that's the big 75-inch because I was planning to watch the movie Dogma. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I had to remember there's something that I need to do. And then we're going to, tell you what, let me do this real quick. This is how I monitor the stream. I go here to my second twin, the middle twin. I go to my my twin in the middle, who's channeled through everything, and I go to subscriptions, and I go to the business side, and as you can see, we're live. And there's only one. You know, this was earlier. See, when we're in there streaming, that's where you get this. That's in here now, but it's off. So now, like I said, in Xfinity, that's what I said, if you have a TV, that's why it's like if you have a TV, if you have something that's horizontal, you know, that's 75 inches. That TV in there is 65. I still have the 120 inch that I'm planning to put up. I'm just trying to figure out where to put it. You see that? It's so tall that it won't fit in here because I'm gonna have to figure out how to get it straight, because as you can see, there were higher ceilings in the basement apartment when I was in the basement apartment, you know, so I had to angle them. So I'm gonna have to go to Home Depot and probably see if I can get a trim. I'm gonna have to do some remeasurements, and then what I'm planning to do is all right, so we got the projector. We got a projector, right? I told you, hey, I used to work, I've been self-employed for a long time. I've accumulated a lot of stuff. In here, you see that? The Epson, that's the projector, still in the box. You see that? That's the projector screen. You see that? These are for sale. These are Thrustmaster TLCM pedals. They are for sale, but because I don't need them anymore. You know, I sold, see, I had a G29 and a PlayStation Evolution White that I gave to my nephew. He uses that now to play NASCAR. He's 14 now. We call him the old man. As you can see, I keep the original boxes as long as possible, because if I ever decide to sell anything, I got all the original packaging. I have all the original packaging. So I can always say, hey, for instance, all these wheels, all these Fanatec wheels. He's like, man, if you tried to add up everything in here, if I went through here and add up everything in here, I'd probably be close to $500,000. $500,000 worth of stuff. Somewhere between 100,000 and maybe $500,000. The worth. You know, maybe, okay, let me back that out. Let me say more like, I'll say anywhere between 10,000 and 100,000. Because I'd have to add up everything in here, you know? I'd have to add up everything in there. Like I said, we got 2 of the subwoofers and they're not even hooked up yet, and I'm planning to hook them up. So the 120 inch, I'm planning to put it behind here, but I've got to do some measuring. So, and then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put the 75 inch in there. I'm going to put the 65 inch in here. Whew. The problem is, this one is older than the little one. And that's better for gaming. This is probably better for movies. So I may trade this in. I may sell this one and get the newer model of this same version, you know, from Sony, because I'm going to get Sony. Why? I've got a Sony PlayStation and I've got a Sony television. But like I say, this one's older. It still works though, you know. I'm planning to get a PlayStation 5 Pro, but I'm thinking I'm going to wait because they say the PS6 is coming out. If not, God willing, when I finally get caught up with my rent and van payment after that hospital visit, whoo, I'm going to be on a roll. Like Dave Ramsey said. Dave Ramsey. You ever heard of Dave Ramsey? Go look him up on YouTube. You know. All right. So, but as you can see, we're live. So I can click that. And like I said, the volume is so low that you can't hear it. You know. But we're live. So that allows me to look over behind my shoulder on the big 75 inch and monitor the chat. So I can say, all right, I can see behind me what's going on, right? So for the time being, I'm just going to turn the Xfinity off and leave the TV dark, you know, until I get ready to lay back down. Because see, there's this sofa, and I put padding over here because I have a tendency to sleep right here. I have a tendency to start off in here, right? Turn everything off, get it as dark in here as I possibly can, which is what I'm going to do in about 45 minutes. Trust me, we got time to finish. We're just going to read through, and I'm probably going to do it pretty fast. So I'm going to turn the TV off now. So this is only TV. You just turn it off. But I'm going to leave the stuff on the bottom on for right now, because the reason that I have my system the way I do, I can control it to where it sounds like thunder and you can't tell the difference. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this. All right, okay. Now we're in the office slash All right, so now we need to find. So as you can see, chapter 1, rough draft. 2, all the way down to chapter 24. We got rough draft. Chapter notes, chapter synthesis, chapter summaries. Let's click that one. All right, close that. Max that. All right, let's see. We need chapter 2. I mean, we need book 2. That's what we need. We're still in book 1. So we need book 2. All right, blurb. All right, here we go. Lights off. Let's enter the dark realm and find out what book 2. The entire series is called the Final Prophecy series. Book 2 is called Rogue Prophets and the Book of Oribus. As you can see, book 2, last review, 9/5/2023. Blood sentence. Let's read it out. All right. This is how it goes. This is the sentence. Somebody say, can you tell me what your story about is one sentence? Okay, here we go. When 18-year-old Evelyn Grace Kane is sent on a mission to rescue a troubled young man who is believed to hold the key to finding the mysterious book of Oribus, she faces more than the forces of evil when a group of religious zealots believe the spiritual energy in her body is an abomination. Pretty long sentence, but it's still one sentence. All right, and then let's say you were walking in the store, right? And you went to the young adult section and you saw this book and it said, Rogue Prophets in the Book of Oribus is what, and then you find, oh, that's book 2 because it's part of a trilogy. This is what you'd see. And then we'd read, okay, blurred paragraph. 3 paragraphs. A month ago, demons were just myth and metaphor until 18-year-old Evelyn Pandora Grace Kane found herself being pursued by them. Now, not only has she become their new target, she has also learned that the women in her family were chosen to become the bodily host of the soul spirit of the biblical Eve. The reason for the need of a host is still unknown, but just before she died, Evelyn's grandmother revealed the existence because Evelyn is her first name. Pandora Grace is her middle name, and Kane is her last name. So Evelyn's grandmother, which was Grand Kane, revealed the existence of a religious artifact that had been hidden for centuries called the Book of Oribus. The book is said to contain a prophecy which is able to solve the soul host mystery, but in order to find it, Evelyn will have to rescue a young man she believes. Evelyn will have to rescue a young man she has been having strange dreams about, who last possessed the book. And here we go, 3. But when a group of religious zealots, and when people wonder what that is, if I ever get this turned into a movie, I want to shoot here. This is a real place. It's called St. Michael's Island. I forget where it is. And I want to shoot here. And we'll get to that. That's why that's my background. That's exactly why it's my background. And we'll get to that. So, 3. But when a group of religious zealots believe that the spirit she has in her body is an abomination, Evelyn now faces overcoming more than just the forces of evil to accomplish the mission. We go back. And now we're just going to go to the sentences. Let's find the sentences. Let's read through the sentences when I find them. Okay, chapter 1 sentences. Chapter 2 sentences. Now what you'll see is, again, Rogue Prophets in the Book of Orbis, chapter sentence list, prologue. All right, here we go. Now, that's the end. That's the, yeah. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to read through them real quick. We're going to do it as quickly as I possibly can. You ready? Here we go. Chapter 2 begins with a prologue. The Armenian Plateau Incident. This is in, what you're seeing is the work is in process. That's why you see them in parentheses. On an expedition, this is the sentence. On an expedition, because I'm not going to read the above part. You can read that by yourself. I put that in parentheses for myself because this is a work in progress. You can read that on your own time if you want to. All right, on an expedition, this is the sentence for the Armenian Plateau incident. On an expedition to the Armenian Plateau to locate the lost Ark of Noah, best friends Abraham Cain and Abraham Adams uncovered the remains of a hidden prophecy. All right, this is Act 4, which means this is the wrong one. This is the wrong one. We got to find the right one. Chapter sentences, chapter summaries. Let's see what happens here. Okay, here we go. I need to find this one. Why? Look. This is like this for a reason. This is why I want to open up the WordPad. Let me see something here. All right, I thought I had re-downloaded the WordPad. Let me check something here. Let me check something here. Excuse me. All right, let me just do this. Boom. Because I'm convinced that something. Okay, all right. Let's read back through these. We're gonna have to read through these. Hold on. Let me do this. All right. Boom. Okay. Final prophecy. That's what FemPro means. FemPro is short for Final Prophecy because that's the name of the trilogy. All right, here we go. Background, blurb, chapter 1 test, chapter 2 sentences. Let me see. No, that's not right. That's not right. Summaries, titles. Let's see. Not right. And I think I understand what's going on. Microsoft WordPad is refusing to give me access to my own content until I download the WordPad again, because WordPad is easier. This is what I did it on. So I'm going to have to go through, like I said, it was on the old computer, but as you can see, there's a lot of content. There's a lot of content. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to use, let me see, which one? Nope, not that one. Characters, concept, enemy file, main missions and events, active notes. Let me see. Let's do this. Date modified. 12/23. We'll just go backwards. 23, chapter 2023, 2023, 2023. Last checkpoint. Let's see. Let's see. All right, it says this file was created for obvious reason, long periods. Last checkpoint. Demonic suicide run tactic. Okay, all right. So as you can see, I have an incredible amount of information, and I want, like I said, this is one of the reasons why it's over 20 years old. Because every time I told somebody, say, "Oh, you need to do more than that," so I decided this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put all of this on the gamer podium. You know, the three of us, the three of us, KG, Wick, and gamer podium. We're all going to work together to figure out a system where we can do all this together. See, that's book 3 right there. So book 2, book 3, we got FinPro characters, enemies, FinPro characters, group, final prophecy, people, places, things. You know, this is Dark Adam. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. This is Dark Adam. Dark Adam is a novel that I'm working on. It's another novel that I'm working on. I came up with another story. See, this is the beginning right here. This is the beginning. This is how it all begins. Chapter 1, third draft. All right, let's do this. Sentences. All right, so this is where it all began. So it starts off with the novel right here, right? And I'm not going to read all of this. All right, so here we go. This is called The Lost Journal of Adam. It's a novel. It's got 33 chapters, an epilogue, a coda, and an author's note, and then acknowledgement. You know, thank friends, especially LCB Ahno for writing her book, which inspired me to write this, if, of course, this book becomes a published novel. So that's at the very end of the acknowledgements, if it ever got that far, you know. So we're going to go all the way up to the beginning. The Lost Journal of Adam. Chapter 1, Breathe. Adam describes what it's like when he first awakened to existence in life. Chapter 2, Introduction. Adam meets his creators, his parents, and learns a little bit about themselves. Chapter 3, The Garden of Eden. Chapter 4, One Law. Chapter 5, A Rough Ride. Chapter 6, Rest. We got an interpose by Draylen. Draylen breaks in to tell the story of the events in heaven that led to the creation of the new species of sentient being. Then we come back to this. I'll explain that later. Then we come back to chapter 7. We got an interpose. Then we go chapter 7, The War in Heaven. Another interpose by Draylen. Chapter 8. And who is Draylen? He's another character in the story. He's basically a storyteller. So what's going on is Draylen keeps dropping in to tell what's going on back, because it's going back and forth. You know, this is fiction, so it's traveling back and forth through time. You know, and in the book, you're going to have to try to keep up with what's going on. Is it the past? Is the present? Is the future? And all three, that trilogy, those three, that number again, work together. But you know, is it? So that's how it works. Chapter 8, Exploration. Adam awakens and begins to explore and discover things in the garden, the rivers, some animals, and in other areas of Garden Eden. Chapter 9, Gold. Adam discovers gold and other minerals and begins to experiment with them and build things from them. Chapter 10, A Man Alone. Adam begins to miss father and mother, and they return to have him name the animals. Chapter 11, From the Ark. Chapter 12, The Floating Craft. Chapter 13, Curious Adams. Adam's curiosity leads him to set up a plan for father to be followed so that he can find out what they are working on the other side of the garden. Interpose. Draylen breaks in. The serpent dragon. After Adam learns of the new she creature, he meets another creature on his way back to his dwelling that is animal-like but has the ability to speak, and he and father mother do. Interpose. Adam breaks in again. Her story. Adam tells the story Eve told him about what it was like for her when she first arrived. 16, Curious Woman. Eve's curiosity. Eve's curiosity leads her to follow mother when she goes to see Adam and sees him and an animal friend tumble in his first boat and rise from the water in joy. Interpose. Chapter 7, Magnetism or Attraction. Chapter 8, Adam meets Eve. Chapter 9, The Courtship. Chapter 20, First Wedding. Chapter 21, The Scheme. Chapter 22, The Game. Chapter 23, Something's Wrong. Chapter 24, Broken. Chapter 25, With Thee in Misery. Chapter 26, Shame and Terror. Chapter 27, Dilemmas and Deliberations. Chapter 28, 11 minutes, 6 seconds. Chapter 9, Trial and Punishment. Chapter 30, Separation. Chapter 31, Longing Hearts. Chapter 2, Reunited. Chapter 33, New Journeys. And then the coda, Draylen Adams. Draylen closes this story off with some interesting mentions about his role as a spirit or soul host carrier and how it's vital that he find the spirit and soul carriers of Eve so that they can find the book of Adam. The book of Adam is another word for the book of Oribus, but this is where it all begins. That's the Lost Journal of Adam. Then we got my unknown quotes. We can read an unknown quotes. This is from a girl that I used to like. It's called Silk Night Ella. This is my poetry. Right along with me. From Ella Cristo Instagram, black tight in new snow photo. If you know who Ella Cristo is, she's a teen model. I think she's 18 now. I'm not sure, but I did this. I wrote this on her. I wrote this on her Instagram post, but I think it's been deleted now. But I wrote it on 1/4/2025, but I think it's been deleted. This is the poem. She had an image because I kind of imagine Ella Cristo playing the very, 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 very young adult version. Because see, there's three versions of this story. The young adult version, the novel, and that's all novel. And then, all of them are going to be novels. Young adult, middle adult, senior adult. So young adult, around the teens, from 13 to 19. From 13 to 19, young adult. Adult, from 20 to 29. And senior adult, from 30 all the way up to 120 years old. So that's the range, right? So this is the poem I wrote for her. It goes, Silk Night, dancing the whiteness of planted fame, the dawn of majesty, a beauty untamed, eyes of mystique, claim of rose lips, hands of comfort, drift, hold, hips, dangers count, letters unscathed, forget me now, no servants, all slaved. Forgive me, mistress, TTFN, ta-ta for now. So I wrote that about her because she inspired it. I mean, she's ridiculously attractive. If you don't know who Ella Cristo is, go look up Ella Cristo on YouTube or Erdadella on TikTok or Ella Cristo on TikTok. Look at her. She is ridiculously attractive. Ridiculously. I mean, that song by Michael Jackson, Dangerous. I'm telling you, she's dangerous. Gold, your money, your time, gold, your money, dangerous. Darling, she's dangerous. Oh my goodness, she's dangerous. Yeah, she's dangerous. Ella Cristo is dangerous. I'm telling you, you see her? Dude, I'm telling you, it'll be hard to look away. No, we're not going to look at any pictures of her now because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to type in Ella Cristo. You're going to hear it typing? Whoa! Hold on. Say what? My cell phone. Does it have, let me see, what's the cell phone power? Oh, we're still in the white zone, so we're good. And it is 1934 hours. So we've got about 26 minutes before 20 hours. And I'm hoping to just be in the bed by 2100 hours and get 4 hours of sleep. 21, 22, 23, 24, 20, sorry, 22, 23, 24, 1, 22, 23. See, if I can get in the bed by 9 and be asleep by 10, 22, 23, midnight, 100 hours, I can get 5 hours because I wake up at 2 in the morning. So I'm hoping to go to bed at 9 to be asleep by 10. And I'm going to plan to stay in the darkness, complete darkness, that entire time. It's going to be me, the devil, and God. All three of us are going to be fighting. The devil is going to be saying, hey, if you ever see the movie Dogma, watch the movie Dogma by Kevin Smith. If you've ever heard of the movie Dogma, go check it out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in tonight. So I'm gonna watch that tonight. So I'm gonna let you see how I do this, and I'm gonna show you how many copies of Dogma that I have. It's probably in here. Let's see. Nope. Those were the D's. It's up here. Oh, it's over here. Let me get it. Dogma. There it is. Nope, that's not it. Dragon. Nope. Oh, I gotta pull it out. Dogma. Nope. Where are you, Dogma? Oh, double G. It's over here. Okay, it's over here on the side. Let me get my headlamp. Because I need my headlamp. Hold on. See, working for Amazon, certain perks you get. It's cool to work for Amazon, DoorDash. All right, so now that I got the headlamp, we can take a look and find out where it is. Let's see. You can see that on the side. We're looking for Dogma. Divergent, Django Unchained, Doctor Strange, Downton Abbey, Dogma. There it is. That's what we're gonna watch. This is not sponsored, y'all. So I'm not trying. If I get a copyright strike, fine. I don't mind, because I'm not trying to monetize this. But what I may have to do. I own this. I own this copy. So I'm going to have to review what YouTube says about copyright, because I'm just showing y'all something. But this is not a paid subscription. It's not. And I'm saying it live. It's not paid. I'm saying it. You're hearing me. I'm just showing y'all. See, I just want to show y'all real quick that I'm going to watch this tonight. So as you can see, this is how advanced my system is. You see that's going to yellow? And that's going, remember, it was on by itself, remember? This is how advanced all my stuff is. It turned itself off. This is how advanced it is. You see that, Dad? That's the power surge unit. That's the PlayStation 2, which I want to hook up and stream in here. Those are my military knives. Those are 2 military knives, and that's my truck collection. I want all those trucks in real life. I want all those cars, This is something that's never been opened. This is from the video game Mass Effect Andromeda. I've never opened it. I don't even know if what they say is in there is in there. This here, never been opened. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff in here that could get me in trouble with copyrights. So hopefully this will stay up, right? So what I got to do is watch. See that? See that turned on? When it's blue, that means they're on. We turn the TV back on, because this is what I'm getting ready to do. I'm counting down. And then you open up the Blu-ray. Because see, that's a Blu-ray player. That's the 4K player. That's the 4K remote. This Dogma won't play. What's in there now? Doc Martin. For those of you who have heard, may never heard of Doc Martin, see, that's what I'm saying. I may have to try to go back and turn the monetizations off, unless YouTube would do it for me, which would be a big help. So right now, while we're live and the stream is still going, you're seeing me put Dogma in the disc, right? So I'm about to load it up, and we're not going to watch it. I'm just going to put it on, because I'm actually getting ready to watch the movie, which will last just under 2 hours. I forget how long it is. And then we got to turn on the TV. We got to switch from Xfinity to 103, because that's what it is. That's an Oppo. That's an Oppo 103. That's an Oppo 203. That's the 4K player. It only plays 4K. I don't think it's backwards compatible, but I do think I've tried to put Blu-rays in there before, and I think it does work. All right, so you see a bit of a pink screen right now. You see a bit of a pink screen, and that's okay. I'm just checking something. They have arrived. I'm just reading what's on the screen. All right, so what I got to do is we got to go to the menu. So as you can see, there's still a pink screen. I got to figure out what's going on. All right, something says, based on the best-selling comes to the DV event of the year. I'm just reading. I'm reading it, so the company. Something called, a movie called The Company. That is one of my relatives, my mom. That's one of my relatives. I think it's his daughter's. I think my mother's brother's daughter, she died. And they had that. I never met her. I know who she was, but when my mom died, I kept it, because she's a part of. I think she's my mother's brother's daughter. I think that's how it's explained. So that was a picture made of her. Like I said, I'm gonna lay over here, or I'm gonna sit here in the sweet spot. I'm gonna sit here in the sweet spot. I crunch and munch on those after I eat. But I haven't eaten all day. The only thing I've had today. The only thing I've had today since this morning at 1 a.m. was water. That's all I've had. I've only had water. I haven't eaten anything. Just water. I've just been drinking water all day, So anyway, let me go to the menu and get this menu on real quick. I got to fast forward some stuff because I got to check something. All right, so real quick, you see that? It's not supposed to look like that, which means I need to figure out something. It's not supposed to look like that. So let me do this. I want to test to see if this will play. So I got to exit it because the screen is pink. So something's wrong. Now the screen is back. So it's black. Let's put it back in. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Just going to look at a comb of eye. I've seen, that's the Sony. We're just watching. That's the Oppo. It's not sponsored, but that's the name of the Blu-ray player. It's the Oppo 103. Let's see if it stays black. If it goes pink again, we'll know something's wrong, and I'm going to have to fix it. So far, so good. All right. That's the Sony logo. Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. All right, so we got previews. Let's do this. I think, because sometimes, that's what happens. So now the contrast is better. I just want to make sure. There's no copyright strike. So what I'm doing is I'm fast forwarding. Hold on. Fast forwarding. Because I'm trying to get to the home menu. Hold on. All right. So if you've never seen the movie Dogma, still image, play movie. So, all right. Now that we're ready, there's a countdown. We got 15 minutes to go get the rest of this done, and then I'm going to end the stream. So let's go back in here, and I'm about to watch Dogma. I told some of you earlier, it is my number one favorite religious movie. Number 2, The Matrix Trilogy. And number 3, it's witches. And y'all heard me say this a lot. So, all right, let's go finish over here. Where we leave off? Oh, book 2. That's what we're looking for. All right, so let's go back up to book 2 and see if we can find what we're looking for. I think I know what to do, though. Let's go with, I'm going to do this backwards again. All right, so the last checkpoint, notes, general, plot summary. So as you can see, there's a trash file that goes all the way back to 1/28/2017. Why? It's a trash file. Think about it. It's stuff that I've decided that I'm not going to use anymore. And for instance, just one file so far. It's part 2 trash file. Below notes are for the WordPad template. So once I re-download the WordPad, yeah, I tried to check my blood sugar levels, and you know what happened? I need a battery. I need a battery. I checked it. Yeah. I see. Watch. Let me show you. Oh, turn my headlight off. See, I forgot I had it on. All right, sorry. This is the headlamp. You know, it has different modes. Let's see. This is, see, for instance, at pitch black, it's really pitch black when I do DoorDash that time of morning, so I need light. This is level 1, level 2. Hold on. Okay. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, off. It also has a hand wave. If I click that, wave my hand, goes off. Wave my hands again, goes on. So this is, when you're working in pitch black, for instance, like North Georgia, sometimes I have to go as far north as, up by Lake Lanier in Georgia. And I tell you, it gets incredibly dark. But anyway, here's my diabetes kit. Watch what happens when I press the button. Watch. E4. Now I got instructions, but I think E4 means low battery. So I got to change the battery, which means I got to buy a battery and then wait to get, so I can check it. So there's power in there. But even now, E4. And I think that I got to go check what the error means. You know, so once I check what the error means, oh, I'll check it. Don't worry. Batteries don't cost that much. You know, like I said, I'm good. I know how to monitor my level. So we're good. So, all right, let's go back in here and finish because we got 12 minutes because I want to start the movie at 8 p.m. so that it's done right around, before 10. And then 11, 12, 1, 2. If I can, I may stop. I may just go halfway. If anything, I'm hoping that I'll fall asleep while watching the movie and won't realize I'm asleep until I wake up when the alarm goes off and be knocked out. All right, so let's do this. Come on, I'm gonna do this extremely quick. So let me find something. Let's go backwards. Let's go back up top again and go with chapter summaries. This is the one we want. I think so because it's numbered. All right. All right, we're going to do it this way. All right. Book 2. Rogue Prophets and the Book of Orbus. Chapter title list. There's the prologue. If you're reading a novel, this is what's going to happen. The Armenian Plateau, and here's the sentence. On an exhibition to the Armenian Plateau to locate the lost Ark of Noah, best friends Abraham Cain and Abraham Adams uncover the remains of a hidden prophecy. Somewhere between April 12, 1772 and April 24, 1872. Abraham Adams' 10th great-grandfather learns about a hidden prophecy. New idea. There are 2 Abrahams. All right, here we go. Act 1. In the beginning, part 2. But this is changed. This is changed. Okay. 1, bad religion. I'm gonna read this real quick. Okay, you ready? 19 years. Remember what at the end of, remember what we said? No, I don't have to. I only need the needles. I only need the needles. And I got needles. Yeah, but I only need them in emergency situations. Trust me, this is not an emergency. Trust me, it's not an emergency. I'm pretty sure my blood levels are a problem. If anything, y'all remember what I did earlier today? I've only had water, and all that energy that I burned, I've been burning energy. I've been up since, let me see, I've been up since 12:30 a.m. So do the math. 12:30 a.m. So 12, 1, 2, I mean 12, 12. Okay, so 1:30, 2:30, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 51. So how many times? Do the math. Because that's what time it is. It's 7:51. It's 1951 hours. And all I've had since that time is water. All that energy I burned. So what do you think? Do you really think my sugar levels are not high? My sugar levels are probably in the double digits. But I'm okay. All right, here we go. Act 1, in the beginning. Bad religion. 19-year-old Abraseth Adams has a heated argument with his mother about religion, which leads to his moving out to be on his own. 2. Memory lane. On a slow day at work, Seth, as in Abraseth, stops for lunch at the Sky Mountain Sports Bar, where he is reunited with a childhood acquaintance, Pandora Kane. If you want, you can pause and read all that. Special delivery. Seth is called away from lunch to go and make a special rush delivery to a church, but he eventually ends up in a mental hospital after a strange encounter with a car following him. Where's the next one? Broken Dreams, formerly entitled Visions. Broken Dreams. Evelyn's mind is under stress after Grand Kane's death. So it's just been spoiled. She died somewhere between. She didn't die at the end. She died somewhere between book 1 and book 2. So Evelyn's mind is under stress after Grand Kane's death, and now strange dreams about a young man who seems familiar, but she can't see his face, is making the stress even worse. Okay, the next one. We'll go through this as fast as possible. The Council of Sages. Evelyn and Carmen are summoned before the Council of Sages to discuss Grand Kane's secret about the amulet that has now been revealed to contain the soul spirit of the biblical Eve, the first woman. Council of Sages. Okay, let's go. You can count to yourself. Trust me, I've got this redone. Ascension, the morning after. Pamela, Carmen, and the rest of the Comenian Ortho mourn the loss of Grand Kane and try to learn more about this special sacred mission Pandora has been given. All right, let's keep going. I'm watching the clock. We got 7 minutes. I'm going to stop at 7:59, then we'll pick up another time. Or you can, Carmen's story. All right. Because book 1 May's re-entry, delete here. Carmen Kane tells her daughter Evelyn more of her life story in the hopes that it will help her succeed in the sacred mission left by her grandmother. All right, see, now we're just going to read the titles. The next title is called The Book of Orbis. This is all book 2, The Dregs. I'm speeding up here. Dream Master is the next chapter. The next chapter is Overload. Can I really not find the sentences? This is taking too long. Tell you what. We'll do this. This is quicker. Because what you're looking at is the rough draft, which is how it should be, right? All right, so the Armenian Plateau incident, Act 4, nope, it's supposed to be Act 3. It's supposed to be Act 1. It's supposed to be Act 1, Act 2. Oh, that's right. I take that back. I'm wrong. I'm wrong because we got. I remember now. I'm remembering now. I'm remembering now. In book 1, it's Act 1, 2, 3. In book 2, it's Act 4, 5, 6. And you can guess what it is in Act 3. So we're going to try to finish in 5 minutes. Okay. Act 4, Bat Religion, Memory Lane, Special Delivery, Broken Dreams, The Council of Sages, Ascension, The Morning After, Carmen's Story, The Book of Organs, The Drake's Dream Master, Overload, The Counterpart, The 13th Floor, is Act 1. Act 4. Act 5, Lay. Act 5, Lay. This chapter, you can read that. Abraseth Jonah Hale Adams. That is Seth Adams' full name. Abraseth Jonah Hale Adams. Seth, the counterpart, has been rescued but is in need of special care. Deathwater, Kingdom Isle, The Dance, Rogue Prophets, Bad Exorcism, Breakdown, The Code Breaker, Back to the Valley, Love of the Puppies, Kiss of Death, The Match, Witch's Brew, Family Cause, Poison Envy, Sandy's Evil. And here's the final act for book 2. Act 6, Lay. ARK, Bloodletting, First Daughter, A Girl Named Lily. Translation, Screech Owls, Tribute, The Secrets of Father Mel, The Final Prophecy, Faith Crisis. And that's the end. All right, so let's go through 3 quickly. Got 2 minutes. Chapter sentences. Let's see if this works. All right, chapter sentences. All right, we'll just go with them. If it's supposed to be 4, hold on, let me see. Let's do this. The last one was 2022. Let's see. Okay, this book 3, like I said, it's a rough draft. And I'm going to come back and we're going to do this again once I get the WordPad updated, because WordPad is free. I just got to update it. Unless, of course, I decide to buy Microsoft this here. But I don't want to buy it because, once I've got it, I just got to find it. And right now my brain is ready and we got 2 minutes. So in 2 minutes, we're going to do this. This is supposed to be Act 7, Act 8, Act 9. But it's okay because it's still a trilogy. Below are the chapter titles. Tests for part 3 because it's the rough draft. Here we go. Act 1, the end is near. Broken Kingdom, Love's Go-Letting, The Mark of Cain, Turmoil, Brinkmanship, Body God, Soberhim, Incubus, Pandora's Box. Act 2, Altered Genesis, Eaton's Dream, Sex Hungry, Sick and Six, Nightmares, Time Mind Jumps, Clouds Clarity, Love's After Going, Altered Genesis, The CUP Part 2, Denominations, move to book 2, The Pain of Gain, Reprimand, Obstacles, Hell, because we're getting to the end. Act 3, Return of the Firstborns, World Order, King and Queen, The CUP Part 3, Weapons, Ellie's Coming. It's more like Eli. Wicked Hearts, Godborn, The Apocalypse Gate, Hanger's Cliff, The Purchase, Rippers, God and Satan, Snakes Alive. Battle, Lucifer Lost, The Devil's Curse, Puzzles, The First Children, The Serpent Dragon, Calling on the Name, Revelations, Epilogue. And it's 7:59. And with that, this is GamerPodium 13 signing off. If you would like to know more, stay tuned for another ASMR stream. I'm out. Goodbye, everyone.